President Cyril Ramaphosa says he's confident that the Energy Action Plan will make great strides in addressing the country's power woes. He was speaking on the sidelines of the COP28 summit in Dubai after his presentation to world leaders on South Africa's status on climate change. Newzroom Afrika's Ziyanda Ngcobo is reporting on the COP28 summit and joins us live from Dubai. Ziyanda, a number of issues relating to climate change being addressed there, but also the country's energy woes, more specifically South Africa. Tell us more.
That's right, Ntantla. So the president spoke for about 3 to 4 minutes during the G77 leaders and China leaders summit earlier on today. He started off having a few meetings, a bilateral with UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, having a bilateral with the president of Tanzania before making that presentation. And then we got an opportunity to doorstop him where he was asked about this just an energy transition plan, which he handed over a copy to, by the way, to Guterres, and where he also complimented South Africa for being a shining example. But the president was really probed about, well, Mr. President, Eskom is a critical component of this energy action plan, and yet we are facing so many troubles with load shedding just a few days ago, escalating to stage 6. And so what is to be said about the status of the appointment of a new CEO, and also that recent Constitutional Court judgments yesterday in Tlantla, where it basically told the leaders of our government that they need to ensure within the next 3 months there's a stable energy supply. Let's listen to what the president had to say about that.
The issue of energy is affecting all of society. And there will be moments when we have load shedding that it affects certain portions of society negatively. But we are going to take steps to make sure that hospitals and schools and police stations are less adversely affected. As we go on to address our energy challenges, we have the Energy Action Plan. We've got that, and we are implementing it. And the good thing is that we are implementing it together with various stakeholders, labor, business, and government. And through it, at the NECOM level, we've been able to get all government departments to work together. So the plan is working. We need to deal with the weaknesses that are inherent in Eskom, and we are making progress. And as we move on to even get your more qualified people, including appointing an Eskom CEO, we will be able to gain more traction and move forward in a much stronger way. I am confident about that.
So, Ntantla, another question that the president was asked about is the issue around a sustainable transition to renewable energy. You'll know that the Komati power station, the coal power station, which was decommissioned sometime last year, there's been lots of talk about the lack of job creation for those who used to work at that power plant. And it's also been used as an example of how South Africa is going to go about then this sustainable energy transition, and not really the greatest of case studies, I must say. And in fact, our colleague Mweli Masilela also put together an important piece around the decommissioning of that power plant, and the president really responding to that issue, especially because it's critical to the discussions that are currently taking place here at COP28 about ensuring that they, especially in developing countries such as South Africa, that you don't just jump from one stage to the next, but actually that there is some level of sustainability and a just transition, as we've already explained, and that's how we've dubbed, rather, our energy action plan. Let's listen to what the president said about that Komati power station.
The Komati has been for us a real good test case of seeing how best we can transition from fossil fuel driven power stations to renewables. Now, if we remember very clearly, we have power stations that have reached the end of their lives. And these power stations, whether we like it or not, are going to close, because it's just like a motor vehicle. Once it has reached the end of its life, it must stop. So what we are seeking to do with the power stations whose life has come to an end is to turn them around and see how best we can inject renewable energy, new life into them. And as we do that, we've also always got to take account of the workers who used to work in those power stations and the communities as well, and do everything we can, yes, to leave no one behind. It is always going to be a challenge.
Thanks to our reporter, Ziyanda Ngcobo.